MCAS Banco de Panama has been implicated in Lacerda's arms smuggling operations and has been facilitating deals with Lacerda and his allies. It must be determined who paid MCAS Bank to organize Lacerda's payment for the Morgan Holt kidnapping.
With still no word from the North Korean government, China's Long Dan again urged all sides to come to the bargain. We have now a late response by Admiral Toshiro Otomo of the Japanese ISDF.
Despite the ambassador's efforts, nothing has changed. The Japanese people must continue to endure harassment and humiliation. We eagerly anticipate the arrival of the...
Hey, I hate you leaving us. Heading back for Panama?
Hate to eat and run, sir. We have a few loose ends to tie off before we can rejoin you.
Well, you can make it back for the 4th of July. I'll show you one heck of a good time, boy.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Fisher, the arms that Lacerda had were purchased by someone using a Panamanian offshore bank as proxy. I want to take a peek inside their records. Unfortunately, it's not as simple as that. This op can't look like a U.S. intelligence gig, so to cover it up you'll need to crack the bank's vault and lift some bearer bonds. Property of the French government.
I hit the bank's servers last night, but I didn't find much. All their workstations run drivers for plug-and-play hard drives. I'm guessing they secure them physically every night. Crazy world we live in where electronic intrusion is more of a threat than physical intrusion. Anyway, they probably store the drives in the main vault, meaning they're not going to be easy to get a hold of.
First, the good news. You've been in this bank before. You were part of a CIA raiding team that went in '89 looking for some of Noriega's drug money. Most of the intelligence we have on the bank actually comes from your team. The bad news is that we have a lot of physical security. Lasers, motion sensors, locked doors, cameras, the whole lot. And none of it was there in '89. We've also contacted a specialist to help crack the vault. You better talk to him.
Look, I don't know who you are or why I'm helping you, other than it's better than staring at the ceiling of my cell. I hear you have to face some Mason Wells 88. Well, it ain't a one-man job, but they tell me you can do the work of 5 men. Fine, I says. I had your mate Willie make a little deposit for you. You'll be needing some things from a safety deposit box in the little vault that we can use to crack the main one.
We'll continue on our course for the Yellow Sea and send you back by helicopter to Panama City. I have no authorization to act inside Panamanian borders, so you'll be operating covertly out of the embassy. You and your partner will be on your own in Panama.
Hey, Emilio, did you see these new motion sensing lights?
No. What do they do?
When they detect movement, the light turns on.
That's amazing.
Like magic.
I think I'm going to get one of those for my garage. Imagine that. You pull up in your car at night, and the driveway lights up automatically.
Ha! You're crazy. This is high-tech stuff, Emilio. It probably costs thousands of dollars.
See, you're probably right. I could never afford it.
Fisher, I just synced your OPSAT with intelligence on the bank that you and your team gathered back in '89.
The memories.
Yeah. Judging from your report, sounds like it was quite a vacation.
It was, actually. I spent most of the rest of that year sleeping in a ditch on the road between Baghdad and Kuwait.
Oh well, if it's any consolation, I had a bad year that year too.
What? You weren't working for the government during the Gulf War?
No, I was in 10th grade.
Oh, right. Yuck.
Hey everybody, it's Cotton here, and I am bringing you some more of Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. In the last video, we were aboard the cargo ship, the Maria Narcissa, where we eliminated Hugo Lacerda. And in this video, we are at MCAS Bank. Now, as you heard from those guys talking, these are motion sensing lights. Fortunately, they're not much of an issue because you have a pretty wide range. And it's also pretty dark out here, so you don't really need to worry about it. But if you do get close enough and a light turns on, the enemies will notice it and they'll go investigate, so that is something to be careful of. But if you want, you can come over here and you turn off all the lights outside here. That will make these guys investigate, and one guy does actually like come by and turn them back on. But it's a nice little way to kind of get past here really quick without anybody, without having to worry about lights or anything like that. And so after we do that, all we need to do is just head over this way. And you do need to be careful because there is a camera here. Now, I guess I should mention that there was a door right at the front of the bank, and you very well could go inside there, but it's actually not a good idea because it's kind of difficult getting in there. And so I'd recommend this route.
Fisher, I've got a copy of a work order here that the bank filed with their insurance company. It says the dome windows over the lobby are magnetically locked. See if you can find a breaker or junction box up here and power down the locks.
Right.
So in order to get inside from the roof, we have to open those, the little glass domes. And so to do that... Oh, slippery. One of those things that Sam says, like, when you turn off, like, a big light or something, he'll say, darkness. You know, and then there's other areas, like going over wet steel or whatever. He'll be like, oh, slippery or something. But here, I can actually show off the breaking the lock, because there's nobody else around where they can hear me, so... Take it. There you go. You break the lock off, and you can see it was really noisy, so it's not that good of an idea to do all the time. But let's switch this.
Good work, Sam. That shut down the magnetic locks on the windows. Hey, wait a minute. Power spike. The lobby. It looks like a laser grid just came online.
Lasers. Lasers are so...
90s?
I was going to say 70s. Can you please stop making me feel old?
Got bad news for you, Sam. You are old.
And luckily for us, there's already a rope here, so we can just climb down.
Fisher, here's our advisor. He'll walk you through the steps that'll get you into that vault. Be patient with it.
Oh, he's one of those.
Right. Hello? Is this thing on, then?
It's on. I'm here. Have you been briefed?
Whatever. This is a Mason Wells 88. Each one is unique. You want to get a butcher's up this girl's skirt. First thing you need to do is authorize an opening.
How do I do that?
The bank president and the treasurer will each have an authorization lock in their office. There'll be another one in the security office. You'll need to disable all three.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll see here that lasers did come online. If you want to, you can use your OCP to disable them, but there's quite a few of them here. And on this level, we are going to make a lot of use of the EEV. Now, another thing that I can mention are the symbols down at the middle of the screen there. That first symbol where it's like a circle with the lines through them. You know, like, I'm not exactly sure, but my guess is that it's just, that symbol just means it's an electronic item. And so it doesn't really have too much significance, but that symbol to the right, it looks like a wireless symbol, and that's exactly what it means. You can connect to the computer wirelessly. So, that is what that means. There's also another symbol that we're going to be seeing on this level, and I'll mention that once we get to it. And so there's a guard sleeping right here, so we really don't have to worry about him seeing us, but we do have a retinal scanner right here, and you'll notice we have a new thing we can do. We can hack it. And, you know, I guess I can actually show that off right now. Okay, and so unlike in the previous Splinter Cell games where you actually had to have a person use the retinal scanner, or if you came across a keypad locked door, you had to have the code from somewhere else, you can actually hack those and get through those areas without, you know, those needs. And so let's get into it. So on the left there, you'll see all those like little ports or numbers or whatever. Those are all of our options, so the actual code could be one of those. In the bottom right, you'll see the bar going down, you'll see those things that were lit up, and the numbers that lit up were the actual correct numbers. And so there's, what you can do is you can press X And when those numbers are highlighted, you can lock those numbers in so that only the options on the left that have those numbers will appear solid that you can choose from. You only have a certain number of locks that you can do each time, and some of the more difficult locks might not even give you the lock option at all, so you'll just kind of have to remember what the numbers are. But you know, it's actually not that difficult, and it's not something that's gonna cause you much trouble, but it's still a pretty fun mini game, and it was a really nice addition to the whole game in general. But one interesting thing about this level is that there are a few alternate pathways. There's quite a few different ways we can go. And so, for instance, like right here, we can choose to go to the left, or we can choose to go to the doorway on the right. I'll be making my own way, actually, but first, before we do that, I want to head over here. This is the front door of the bank, so we were just outside, and just over there was the switch to turn off the lights. But as you can see, why it would have been difficult to get in here is because it's very lit up, and there's also a camera. Now, this guy is sitting next to a computer, so I'm going to use the EEV. Now, you'll see there on the left, that symbol on the left, the 0110, that means that you can hack the computer, and it will give you like certain information or complete some kind of objective that you could only do after you had hacked it. So, first I will go over, I will go to the door codes. So, here, one of the emails gave us a door code, so it's kind of like the previous games where you could get door codes from emails. You can also see the cameras on these, so there's the front door, the bank side. We were just there, but in order to get the hacked file, we need to click on the security axis here, and then we go into another mini game here. So I press X on these. I have 2 more chances to lock something, but I don't need to do it. Because the only option is that one. And now that we did that, we have the option to upload a fake email.
That's a relief. Our installer seems to be compatible with their local OS.
That's it? Just plug and play?
That's the idea. No fuss. Get all 8 of those forged mails uploaded.
Make the robbery look like an inside job.
Exactly.
So now we have an opportunity objective, which is to upload fake emails to make it look like this was an inside job. And so there are quite a few computers. You might feel a little worried about it, but it's actually not too big of a deal. I have to be honest, I was kind of worried myself, because there are some computers where I was like, man, how am I going to get to them? But luckily with your EEV, it's all fairly simple. And so I'm going through this pathway on the left. I'm not going through the retinal scanner area. Oh, I thought he almost like noticed something. I was about to freak out. But, well, actually it might be easier to just make that go out. But I feel like I was just saying something, but I completely forgot what it was. But yeah, going this way, you'll pretty much go in a big circle and end all the way around to where that retinal scan door was. And so one of the computers that we need is inside here. There's one guy at the computer, and then that guy that walks around. So I need to wait on him. And I think I'm good right here. I can just kind of get all the way back, look at the computer, and then, oh, we have a security room door code, so 2306. And so I'll do this really quick. And so, like, if you click on one of these unhighlighted numbers, you'll lose one of your locking options. And so, yep. There we go. The that whole hacking thing isn't that bad. Sometimes you kind of have to, like, deduce which one it actually will be. Like, you know, if you have, you know, a 191 and 194, and then, like, you know, the 191 shows up, but it's not lit up, then you know that the correct one is 194. So really, I mean, that minigame isn't difficult, like, at all. But you want to be careful before you head up the stairs, because there is a guy patrolling. And if you're not careful, you'd probably go up the stairs and he'd see you. So just wait for him to turn around before you go up.
Looks like more lasers ahead, Sam. This whole place is singing with photons.
There's a guard who seems to be walking around here, no problem.
Maybe he has some kind of beacon. Get close and you can stay in his electronic shadow.
But while he's making his way back, we have another computer we can use. So, we can do this again. They give us enough locks, so, you know, you can just kind of wait for all these to show up, and, yeah. And I think I'm just going to cut until he actually shows up, because I think he's talking to somebody right now. You know, I was wondering, I completely forgot to actually upload the fake email, and, jeez, that's kind of, yeah, I can't believe I did that, because I was thinking, like, wait a minute, did I actually click on the upload fake email, and, okay. Yeah, I just did that, so there you go. I'll see you back up there. Man, can you imagine? That would have, like, driven me crazy if I beat this level and I forgot, like, one of the emails. Like, oh man, I would have had to have redone the entire thing. But now that we're here, we can, you know, you kind of see this aspect. There's a bunch of lasers, but these guys are walking through them no problem. You could grab this guy and interrogate him, but pretty much there's some kind of sensor in their suit that, you know, disables the lasers when they walk by. And unfortunately, we don't have that, so we kind of have to get creative. Unfortunately, Sam can't just get on his stomach and crawl. Why can't Splinter Cell crawl? Yeah. Okay. Right, as soon as that guy turns around, we don't have enough time to actually make it past to follow him, so
Hey, what the?
I'm actually just going to shoot out the light, and while I was practicing, he did not pull out a flare, so, or a little glow stick or whatever, so this is going to be interesting. For a second there, I was thinking of showing off, oops, the split jump, because if you remember in the previous games, you could go up like 2 walls that were close together, and, you know, like do a little split jump on them and hang up, or just like kind of stand up there. You can do that there if you want to. I almost thought about showing it off, but I'm cutting it close. But, yeah, that's another thing you can do. Another thing that they brought back that you can do in this game. There are medkits right there. But I just need to wait for this guy to turn back around. And then slip past without him even noticing. And let's see here. Okay. We need to get inside that room, but not just yet. There is a person that's walking around. Or I guess he walks through one of those doors and then he'll go inside, so I'm just going to wait on him. And so you can see that this door is locked. We do have the key code for it, so make sure to check those emails because you will get the code for it. Either way, even if you didn't, like, you could still hack it, so, you know, either way, whatever. So it shows us what the code is right there down at the bottom, 2306. Now, there's a few things that we can do in here. These guys, like, really won't notice you at all. And so the first thing we can do is enable the access to that main vault.
That's the security authorization. 2 more to go.
And the second thing we need to do is use this computer. It doesn't have any wireless capabilities, so we have to physically use it, but they won't notice. So don't worry about it. And let's see. It's not 30, so it's 40. There we go. So, one thing you can do here, one of the objectives is to delete the camera archives.
Good thinking, Fisher. Now, even if you're caught on camera, they won't be able to ID you.
Now, actually, I I'm not sure if that actually was an objective, but pretty much what this does is it scrambles all of the cameras, so you can kind of walk around wherever you want to in front of cameras, and I don't believe they'll actually notice you. And now the next thing we need to do is another, oh, dang it, I missed it. But it was a 40. 192, 40, 10, and 40. So there we go. We got another fake email we can do.
That's half of the forged mail, Sam. 4 more to go.
Thanks. I've always found it hard to count past 3.
No need to be smarmy, Sam.
And we can also deactivate the fan that's above us.
Ah, not the fan again.
Stupid piece of junk. How come the air conditioning in the president's office never fails, but our fan breaks every night?
Let's see. He's the president, and we are just security guards. Might as well have Noriega back.
Always the poor who suffer for the rich.
Tell me about it. Well, anyway, we better fix it.
No way. I ain't getting my hands dirty. Call that loser Paco up here and make him do it.
Hey, good idea.
So here you can see some Nokia advertising. I'm just gonna check this computer really quick, and yeah, there's nothing on it. So we've done everything in here, so we can just leave. As simple as that. There is a significance to turning off the fan, because there is an alternate route into that room that involves going through some air vents, and you go down through the fan, and so you'd have to use your EEV to turn it off. But I thought I'd just do it now, just to get that little conversation out of the way, I suppose. But I'm going to make that light go out so they don't see me when I go around the corner. Luckily, they don't even notice the light going out, so that's nice. We don't have to worry about that, but we don't have the key code for this one, so we have to hack it. And, wow, that was easy. Let's just head inside. There's nobody in here, so you don't need to worry about turning lights off or anything. And if I remember correctly, I don't think there's actually anything on the computer, but I'm going to double check anyway. Yep, there is nothing on the computer. And I don't believe there's anything else in the room, actually. So we can head in here to the president's office? Yeah, it's the president's office. Nobody could hear, so I'm just, you know, gonna break the lock. But one thing that is kind of a secret, I guess, you can push the picture up, hack the keypad here, and inside is a gold bar. What does this do, you might ask? It does absolutely nothing. I guess, like, you can throw it. So, you know, you could throw it at, like, a guard's head and it would knock them out, and that's really the only use for it. But it's just kind of a fun little hidden thing that's not important at all. It's, you know, whatever. But I'll use this, I'll use his computer and do another hacking here. So, 191. There we go. Next. But we do have another access panel here.
That's 2 down. Now just authorize from the Treasurer's office.
And with that, I will end the video off here with more Nokia advertisements. What is that? Connecting people. What is that phone? Wow, those things are old. Oh man, people back then, they were so stupid using phones like that. I'm sorry, I'm pretending to be like some of my friends who make fun of old technology for some reason and think it's funny to be like, oh man, we were so stupid for thinking that this was such amazing technology. But okay, I'm ending the video off here. So in the next video, we will find the last access panel and we will break into the vault. So I will see you then.